Hi everybody and welcome back to some more Ride 2 here on this channel. I'm KPG-GOONER here. Right guys, if you didn't watch the previous episode, right at the end of the video I asked you to vote and choose one of these bikes for a super sport tour that we're going to do. Now you've still got time, so choose one of these bikes, put your vote in the comments or in the previous video and just let me know on Twitter, Facebook, and we will be doing that very soon. But in today's episode we're going to be choosing a different bike to do some races on, so we're going to get straight into that now, so here we go. Right guys, we're going to get into some racing now. We're going to do a few races in this tour. Now we need a bike that's 780 performance points, and the bike I've chosen today guys is one that gets left out quite a lot and I haven't seen many people try it out, so I'm going to choose this bike and I'm going to put it through its paces. Now to me this bike, the Bimota DB8, looks awesome looking. The stats aren't too bad. I haven't managed to upgrade a lot on it because it was almost up to that performance points anyway. So it's going to be quite standard. We're going to race it around on default settings. We're not going to alter anything. We're just going to see what it's like against some of the other bikes. Now it's a very powerful bike, so it's going to be interesting how it goes up against like the CBRs, the RC8s. So we're going to test it out guys, so let's get straight into it. So here we go. Right guys, let's get into this first race. Now this is quite a fast paced circuit, so this should be interesting. Let's have a look what bikes we're going up against. So RSVs, F4s, CBR Fireblades. So this is about the sort of field that you want to go up against. So we're going to leave it on a high anti-wheelie. It's quite a powerful bike, and to see how we go. So here we go guys. Right guys, so here we go with our first experience on the Bimota. Now we're going to mix up the views in today's episode. We're going to start in third person, but we might do first person as well, and maybe some other views. We're going to really put this bike through its paces. Now we haven't altered anything on the bike, so we're just going to have to work out where its strengths are and see what it's like into these first couple of corners. Just try and take a nice clean line through here, avoid any contacts, and just open the throttle and see what it's like on the straight. Oh my god, it's not bad. It accelerates, it's accelerating pretty quick, and we're caught up with a few bikes there. Let's see if we can get up the inside of this bike here and then slow it down. Can we get past that CBR? We managed to get past it, but we lost the braking point there. We left the braking a little bit too late, and it just touched my back wheel, but only slightly. Right, let's slow it down into this section. This is going to be quite difficult through here. The CBR's taking the inside line, so let's just try and back off to avoid any contact again and accelerate. Now I'm finding some of these bikes, once you get to nearly 200 brake horsepower, they're quite a nightmare with wheeling, but if you've got it on high, but you're still going to get a little bit of bobbing up and down out the slow corners, and that was an awesome drive through there. Just trying to find out where this bike's strengths are. It definitely is pretty damn quick. Once you open the throttle, once you get into that third or fourth gear, it does start to drive away, so that's awesome. I think we've just got 2 KTMs in front of us, and let's just try and get amongst them on this first lap. Oh god, onto the curb there. Just steered a little bit too early into that corner, and oh god, is that a Kawasaki I've got behind me? I don't know if it is, but I just saw the green and white, and we've just got to be careful that no bikes come up the inside through these slow sections. We don't want to get knocked off early on in this race. Let's try and get a nice line through here. Now this is where we're going to find out what this bike is like into the slow corners, and oh god, just turned a little bit too early into that one. Just try and slow it down. Now this hasn't got a really high handling on it, but we've only got normal tyres on it, so we haven't got like slicks, so oh god, it is losing a lot of grip into those corners, and I'm finding the braking isn't that great at the moment, but it's going to take a lap and the KTMs will start to pull away. Let's see if we can just react into the second lap. We've got quite a queue of bikes sitting behind us as well, so we're going to have to be really careful and we don't make any mistakes. Now we're going to try and mix it up today in today's episode. We're going to put it through its paces on totally different circuits. Now this one's quite a long circuit, so it's got some really long straights. I think we might test it out on one that's got a shorter circuit, with really fast paced circuit, but with a lot of cornering, just to see what this bike's like. That's not bad through there. We've managed to catch up the KTMs. Let's try and get into their slipstream on this second lap and see if we can get past them. And yes, it definitely, once you get to that fourth or fifth gear, you can feel the bike drawing them in. We managed to slip up the inside, but can we slow it down into this section? Oh god, saw it skid slightly at the back. As to really put the brakes on really heavy, especially at the back, but we've got to be careful of that because we don't want to overdo it. Let's try and get a nice turn into there, flip it over. Oh, that was nicely done. That is good, but again it didn't react very well as I tried to open the throttle fully. I've got to gradually do it. It's just such a habit just to open the throttle and just try and pull away on these bikes. But once you get to this sort of power, you can't do that. And we've actually managed to pull away slightly. So we are absolutely firing it. And that's an awesome first experience on this bike. I'm telling you, these bikes are pretty damn good. My first experience so far, I'm actually enjoying it. The handling isn't, it's not up there with the handling that I found on the CBR on default settings, but it's not bad. I mean, considering I haven't made any adjustments, it's feeling very, very stable. But we will find out later in this episode when we go on a few other circuits whether that is the case. But so far on this circuit, it's doing okay. We're just managing to hold the lead. Right, we've got to try and nail this section again. Let's try and get a nice line through there. Turn it over. Just try and be good on the throttle control. We've got those KTMs sitting right behind me. Just try and get a nice speed through there. Almost cracked it into the wall. Just managed to stop it. But then when I've opened the throttle, it started bobbling up. But we've managed just to gain the control again. That's much better through there. We didn't overrun it, but they're still sitting quite close behind me, so I can't afford to make any mistakes. But there is a lot of versions of these Bimotas. There's some naked bike versions. There's a super sport version as well. And like I said, a lot of people have sort of left this one out, and some people have also said no, and they can't find any videos of people trying all the different versions. But I don't mind, guys. That's what I want to do in this walkthrough. I'm going to try and experience all the different bikes and see what they're like. And so far, this one's been a really, really good experience. And I'll see if we can nail it on this last lap and get a victory in this first race, and that would be brilliant. Now, I do like this circuit. Now, this is only the second or third time I've actually done a race on it. It is a circuit that was on the first ride, but I do like the fact they do it in the different light settings. So this is sort of the sunset. I haven't tried it in the rain. I think this would be quite a difficult one in the rain, but again, it's something that I wouldn't mind having a go at. Now, there is quite a few different versions, because on the other version you don't have that chicane there. It just goes round. I don't know whether this is the shorter version or the longer version, but it's definitely a good circuit to race round. So it's definitely one to choose if you want to test out a bike, because it's got difficult corners, it's got long straights, and it's a bit of everything. So we've just slowed down on this lap. We're not as quick as lap 2, but we're still managing to hold that lead, which is awesome, and we're still pulling away, which is brilliant. But I think on the next race it's going to be a little bit closer. I think there was a race in this tour, God, just at the front wheel went up. I think there's Vanalunga, which is going to be a real test for this bike, and we might do that in first person as well. Really up the difficulty and just see if we can win a race around there. But doing those sort of powered bikes around a circuit like that is always tough anyway. It's got even harder slow corners than this circuit. Right, let's just try and keep it nice and steady. They've caught up slightly. I can see the marker. I've got 2 bikes sitting behind me. I've really stuffed that up, and that's really slowed me down. Just gently open the throttle. I should be okay as long as I don't muck up this corner, and I've gone wide again. But that's my own fault. I really lost the braking zone in that, and I left it a little bit too late. And then the problem when you do that is then you start braking a lot heavier, and then you risk yourself coming off. Managed to get away with it that time, but we're coming to the final corners, and it looks like we're going to take a win, which is absolutely brilliant. Awesome. So we're going to just drive it to the line, and that wasn't a perfect race, but I'll take it for our first experience over the line, and there we go. Right, let's get into the next race, and I think the next one's going to be a lot tougher. I really do. But so far, I'm liking this bike. I mean, it's not when you think of I don't like the name Bimota. I don't know why, but if they just called it the DB8, I'd actually quite like that. But let's get straight into the next race. So here we go, guys. Next up, guys, is Vanalunga. This should be a real test, so let's get straight into it and see if we can get another win. So here we go. Right, guys, so here we go with Vanalunga. This should be a real test. Now, we haven't altered anything on the bike again, but we're going to race in first person, so this should be even harder. But I'm just going to go for it. I do like this circuit, and we need to start really well. So let's just try and control it, and it does accelerate pretty quick. and I'm not sure what bikes are going to be the best in this race. And as we bombed off, I think it's an R1 that's bombed off really quickly. Let's try and get a little bit of contact as I sweep past. Slow it down, slow it down. Touched a bit of grass, really went for it. So let's try and dive into this corner, and we've managed to get into the inside of that corner and take that position. And it is an R1 that's bombed off. Let's just try and stay with him and get in his slipstream. The R1's going to be pretty quick round here, I would have thought. They're a decent bike. They're still at one that we haven't experienced much on this game yet, so we're definitely going to be trying the R1. Don't worry, guys. And just try and get a nice tight line into that corner. And you've got to be really good on the brakes on this bike. You can just feel it a little bit unstable at the back of the bike, but and it's not too bad. I don't use too much back brake into the slower corners, and you just want to use a little bit more front brake to turn the front in, especially that with the fact that we haven't adjusted the bike at all, and it was a little bit unsteady through there, but we've managing to hold it. But I can hear that R1 Yamaha engine right behind me, so I've got to be careful I don't make any mistakes and it doesn't crash me off. Now like I've said in I think in the previous video, they did say that they had fixed the collision that you thing that you get from the AI into the slow corners, and no, they haven't. It's happened to me loads of times since the updates, and it is very, very annoying. But hopefully they keep listening to all the players, and they will eventually fix that, because I don't remember it being like that on Ride 1. And that's not a bad line into that corner. Not very quick, but the R1 is... Oh no, is it? It's a Augusta F4 that's sticking behind me. So it looks like the R1 has actually dropped off. So let's see if we can just hold it at bay. Is it going to come up to the inside? Oh no, it managed to slip past. Oh my god, that was close. Almost turned straight into it. Let's just try and stick with it. Try and take a wider line through here. And look at that inside line. Oh god, just touched him. I couldn't avoid that. I managed to try to hold it, and again he's managed to he almost took me off then. He touched my front wheel then, but luckily managed to hold on to it, and now I can see the R1 in my mirrors. So we're going to have to be careful. Let's try and slow it down into this corner. I think the R1's going to go on the outside. Oh, I think I felt a bit of contact there. Was that the R1? I'm not sure. We will actually, I don't know if that was an R1 that came off there, but I felt a bit of contact, and I think a bike came off there, but we will check on the replay after the race. And let's just try and hold it, and the F4 is managing to pull away, which is really, really annoying. I don't know where that came from. Oh god, I really almost caught the curb there as well. Really, really struggling, because I'm trying to keep up. I knew this would be a harder race to win, and we've got loads of pressure from behind, but can we just bring that bike back? Can we get a little bit closer to it into the final lap? Trying to get a nice tight line there, but the back end of the bike skidded round, and I've actually done a wheelie there, which doesn't always help. Oh god, I almost went straight into the back of him there as I tried to go into that corner, but it looks like we're going to have to try and get him on the last lap. But we've managed to pull away from the group through there, which is awesome. But can we hold on to this and maybe just try and push this bike a little bit more into the final lap? Right, let's just try and get a nice drive down the straight. Oh my god, that F4, how quick is that? Look at it, it's bombed away. Oh, this is going to be harder than I thought, so we're going to have to try and hold the speed through here. Try and just back off slightly, not to brake too much through there, and get a nice drive. Now we're going to have to nail this corner here if we want to catch up with the Augusta F4. Let's try and slow it down. And that's another bike, guys, we haven't tried out as well, so we're going to have to add that to the list as well. It's definitely got some really good acceleration on it, and look at it, it just pulls away. As soon as we go onto the straight, it just bombs away. We're definitely not quicker on the straights than it, but can we get it in the corners? Right, we're going to have to nail this corner. We've actually managed to pull away from the field, so we've only got this bike to worry about, and we really lost it in that corner. Went into there too quick, but we've managed just to recover slightly, and we've got a good drive out the corner. Now we're going to have to nail these last few corners. Right, let's try and get a nice line into here. No, we've gone wider again, but we're just managing just to get a little bit of speed as we just drove it out of that corner. Right, we've got to flip it over here, stay off the curb, and it's going to go down to the final corners. But look, it's looking that we haven't got the speed to overtake this bike, but we are very close. If we can just have a really good last couple of corners, we might be able to get him. Can we get him on this corner? No, we've gone out wider, so we're not going to get the tight line, but can we get right behind him? Yes, we've got right behind him. Can we take him in this corner? Can we slip up the inside? Oh my god, we've gone for it, and we've gone up the inside, but are we going to hold it? No, he's gone past, but we've taken him in that corner. Oh my god, look at that move for you. we're definitely going to have a look at a replay of that. But we've managed just to take him. He went back in front, but we managed just to get in tight line, and he's right behind me. Is he going to try and take me to the line? And I'm really losing it in that corner, but I think we're just going to squeeze the line. Yes, we are, and we take the win. Oh my God, how close was that? We're going to have a look at the replay of that, guys. That was an awesome move. Plus, I think there was some contact with a couple of the R1s in that race, I felt. And we will check that out as well in the replay. We'll do it in slow motion, but I hope you enjoyed that race. We will jump into another event in a minute, but we're going to check out those replays and see what happened, because I think the R1 came off on one of those corners. So we're going to have a look now. So here we go. Right, guys, we've actually got a couple of incidents that happened in this race. Now, there was contact on the same corner by two different R1s, but it's the first lap the R1 actually crashes out. He just makes contact and unfortunately comes off in that corner. And the other incident is this one. As we go into the chicane, I move over and I just come across and we make contact and he comes off. I felt the contact, but I didn't realise I took him off, which is unfortunate again. And this was the overtake to actually get the win. The F4 turns into that corner. I managed to sneak up the inside, and then he gets a good acceleration drive, goes into the next corner, but I managed to change position and again get a good drive into that next corner, and that's what won me the race. It was an amazing pass, an amazing race. It was so close to the end. Right, guys, now we're going to jump into a head-to-head on Sugo fast course, and then we're going to jump into another race to end the episode. Right, let's get straight into this head-to-head. Now, some of these can be quite difficult, but I do like this circuit. And let's see what bike we're up against. Fireblade. Well, this should be interesting. Let's see if we can beat that around this circuit. Now, we've got to get past within a minute to get the gold. So let's see if we can get a nice turn. Again, we haven't made any adjustments, so we're going to have to be careful turning into these slow corners. Just keep it nice and tight. That's good through there. And just try not to overdo it with the acceleration, because we don't want that front wheel bobbing up and slowing us down. And we're doing really well. We've caught up already, so that's good. Now this chicane can be tough. Try and hold it onto the curb. That's a good drive. Oh God, he's gone onto the gravel. That's given me an opportunity to catch up, and we're getting really close. It's getting a nice tight turn, and we're really breathing down the Fireblade's neck. Can we get past him? Oh, don't make contact and get a nice drive onto the straight. Let's see if we can get any slipstream. Oh, it bobbed off a little bit, but I'm sure we should be able to get past him with the slipstream. Oh God, he almost went straight into that rider. I had to slow down there. I thought it was going to crash, but managed to slow down, get a nice turn in there. Is he going to come up the outside of me there? Oh, got a little bit of contact, but just managed to hold position, and we managed to do it first time. Oh, brilliant. Sometimes they're really challenging. At the start of a circuit, sometimes there's not good areas to pass, but we managed to make it work, but it was close. And now we're going to jump into another race. I think there's another decent circuit we can test this bike out on. And it's going to be a circuit we haven't done many races around as well. Let's get straight into it now, guys. So here we go. Right, guys. It was between these two. Now, I think I'm going to go with... yeah, let's go with Road America. We haven't done many races around Road America since we've had Ride 2. Let's take it round there and see if we can get another win, guys. So here we go. Right, guys, so here we go with the final race of the episode around Road America. A very good circuit. It's the Bend version, and I'll tell you what, the last race I had around here on the CBR Fireblade was an absolute cracker. So hopefully we can have another good race. It's really competitive on this bike. It's not the best bike in the field. I think it has some good qualities, but I think one of the things that's standing out for me is its handling. I mean, it hasn't got a really high handling rating, but it does feel, without any adjustments, very good in the corners. And acceleration, not the quickest off the mark, but once it gets into that 4th and 5th gear, it does accelerate pretty quick. So I expect it's got a really good top end as well. It's not on the highest gear ratio, but it's pretty decent. And again, we've started really well, so we're up to P2. Let's just try and see if we can stick with the leader. And this is a difficult section down here. Now, when you slow down here, it's not just about slowing down, it's accelerating out without that front wheel lifting. And we managed to sneak up the inside and to see if we can accelerate. Oh God, he made contact with the back, but I did mug him in that corner, so I was expecting him to try and get back at me there. Managed to slow it down, stay off the curb, and we're into the lead on the first lap. That's awesome. But this circuit has got some really tough areas to negotiate, so I'm going to have to be careful that I don't get a little bit too overconfident. Let's just try and slow it down, just try and keep a nice tight line onto the apex to avoid any bikes getting up the inside. I've got the marker, so I know there's a bike sitting right behind me and I'm getting really nice and tight. I really struggle to go around this corner sometimes at speed. I have to keep on accelerating, backing off it, and that's where you know that you need to make a slight alteration. Right, this can be quite difficult. I slow it down. Oh god, I slowed down a little bit too early there, and they managed to bite back and a bike slipped past, but we're still in a decent position, so let's just try and hold on to it and stick with him, and try and get a nice drive around this section, and just get his slipstream as well. We should be able to get past him in this next corner if we line it up really well. Right, start slowing it down, but it's just if you haven't raced around a circuit for a while, it does take a while to get your braking points back in. We managed just to slip up the inside of him there. Let's just try and hold it around this section. It always takes a lap or so just to get back into the swing of things. Like I say, I never use the driving line, so you just sort of make up your own braking points and just know. But also when you're on the different bikes and different speeds, you have to stop a little bit sooner if they're a faster bike, or a little bit you can be a little bit braver in the corners on the slower bikes, but so it just takes a lap, and that wasn't bad. So we put in 2 minutes and 21 seconds, which is not bad for a first lap, and I'm feeling pretty good. So we're in the lead, and we're holding strong. But oh god, that was close there, just overdone it in that corner. It just gives you a little warning shot that this bike isn't completely stable in the corners. I think if you had the slicks on, you would have a little bit more grip and it would feel a little bit more stable. But yeah, once we've fully upgraded, we're definitely going to have to race this one again. I've actually enjoyed this one, and it just makes me think. Obviously, when I've at the start of the video, I asked you to select one of those bikes, so there is a Bimota in that selection. So I know some people said please try it because no one else seems to use it, but if the votes work out, that's the one that gets chosen, I will choose it. But I might buy it anyway, guys. I mean, like I said at the start of this walkthrough, I will try and experience every single bike if I can. So we wanted to try and get through in many videos as we can as well. But I was thinking of trying to do a few more videos, do short videos, but try out, you know, just concentrate on one bike per video and just do more videos. I'm definitely going to do that. Plus, guys, starting from tomorrow, we've got Watch Dogs 2. I know it's a non-racing game, but it has got, like I've always said, it's got racing elements in it. I cannot wait to play this game. It's going to add some fun to the channel, and I'm going to start doing some live streaming on it, guys. So if you are out there and you buy Watch Dogs 2, then you want to let me know in the comments, because once we've got through a little bit of the story walkthrough, I will be doing some co-op stuff online with you lot. It's going to be brilliant, and we will do some online on this one, guys. We are going to do some online races, and I know there's a few of you have got the game and keep asking, are you going to do some co-op? We are going to do some online races on this as well. It's just, and because I know you can do like team versus team, which would be awesome. We could do like a 4 of us against 4 other races online. That would be pretty cool. So we're definitely going to do that. It's just that I'm just at the moment just struggling to find the time to do the live streaming, but I'm going to try and make sure towards Christmas I do put some time down for that. And at the moment we're doing okay. We had a little bit of a scare there when he just made a little bit of contact. We managed to get away, and that's a slightly better lap there. Now we've just got one more lap. Can we hold on to this? Let's try and be a little bit careful in this corner. We almost had a moment on the last lap. That's a little bit better in there. We've got a little bit of a gap, not massive, but I must admit I am really gutted about losing all my data. I mean, there's a lot of games that I've still haven't gone back on that I lost, like all of my memory for Project Cars, a set of calls, Valentino Rossi the game, MXGP2, Drive Club. I've just lost everything, and it is like, it just upsets you. I mean, it does record some of the games that are completely online, like Need for Speed. I haven't really lost anything. All the memories there of what I had, but it's the games that I mean, a lot of people said, well, why didn't you have that backed up? But you never think that these sort of things are going to happen, and you have to pay for the online storage. I mean, there is a certain amount of free storage that you get, which I had used, but it wasn't for all the new stuff that I'd been doing. So I literally, it was just one of those things that you just think, oh my god, how am I going to get back to where I was? But I'm not going to let it affect me. We've got loads coming up in the next couple of months. We've got loads coming in the new year, so just going to keep on moving forward. Plus, in the next few weeks we're going to be moving over to a PS4 Pro. I've just purchased a PS4 Pro, and what I'm going to do is I'm not going to shift. This is still on the normal PS4. I'm going to shift all the data over to that, and I've got a new microphone coming, a few other things that I'm using all my channel money just to plow it back into the channel. So I will be doing hopefully in the new year a setup. Would be on the PS4 Pro, which hopefully is going to be better graphics, and we are going to get some games that have got obviously the upscale of the graphics, some remastered games, and I might consider doing some VR stuff. I haven't purchased one yet, but I'm on the bench with, or shall I say on the fence, shall I say, not the bench, whether I'm going to get one. I've seen a lot of gameplay, and I'm not sure whether that's something that I think they need to bring a few more racing games out with it. I know that they're thinking there is quite a few. They've got like Drive Club, but I don't know. I've got Drive Club. I didn't want to, buy the other version. But anyway, guys, we managed to get a win. I hope you enjoyed the episode. And also, guys, I'll see you tomorrow on Watch Dogs 2. I hope you enjoyed that walkthrough as well, guys. I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to add some more fun to the channel, and I hope loads of you do take part. And I'll see you soon, guys. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.